Happy Sunday. Happy race day. Happy we're not at a road course finally. 2 back-to-back road courses is a little, or I should say a street race then a road course is a little much. Or at least for me. Can we do like a regular race, then maybe a road course / street race, then a regular race? Can we spread them out, please? A little bit more than what they are, or it seems they have been. I feel like they've almost been back to back here in the last couple weeks. I mean, we just had Mexico City not that long ago. And then had the Chicago street race. Now we've had Sonoma. Goodness gracious. And SVG, man. SVG. What can we say? He now has his third win for the season. He won in Mexico. He won the street race. And he has won at Sonoma from the pole. Who would have thunk? I mean, he just has something down pat with the new car, then these stage brakes, and which preferably, I don't like the stage brakes on the road courses. I mean, because you either have to pit the first stage, which is what they did with Sonoma. With SVG, is they didn't win stage 1. Ross Chastain did. Excuse me. And then go ahead, get fuel and tires and things like that. And you kind of already know the strategy. Excuse me. Or we have no stage brakes, which I think is what I prefer personally. And you don't know what the strategy is going to be. You just don't. The winner is going to be the winner at the end of the race. And I think for right now, with the stage brakes on the road courses, it kind of, to me, it seems like it kind of allows more of, here's who's going to be the winner, more so than if we didn't have stage brakes for those. I don't know. Because people have to think more when there's no stage brakes. Like, what's the actual plan? How are they actually going to do things? Versus, okay, pit road closes in 2 laps. We're going to go ahead pit now, so that we don't get thrown in the back here and get marred up in traffic here, and then go from there. For me, that takes so much out of it. you almost know immediately that if you don't flip stage 1 and don't get the points in stage 1, you're going to be put in traffic starting stage 2. You already know that. I just don't understand why NASCAR said, okay, we're going to just put stage breaks back in here. Wow, stage points. You can still do the stage points if you want to do stage points like you were before at lap 25. Whoever's leading at that point, like we were before, just not a break. And let the crew chiefs do their job. That's just me. Hopefully, one day, something may change. I don't know. But I feel like something is missing though on the road courses. Is there action on the road courses? Yes, because you have multiple different turns, you go in different directions, and there's a lot going on. People getting into each other left and right. You know, we had Carson and Josh Berry get into each other, and evidently Carson didn't answer a text or a call from Josh Berry. Carson, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever it is, you're not making friends. Period. This time it wasn't Carson's fault from what I can gather. It really wasn't his fault. But you race with 30 plus other people. So, not answering a phone or not answering a text from a fellow driver that you race with 30 plus weeks out of the year is not making friends. Even if you don't want to make friends and you want to be like a Joey Logano, and you don't have to be friends with people that you work with, and that's okay. But you also don't have to be a butt either. Hear what the dude has to say, accept it or not, and move on. Ta-da! But you also have to remember, again, that you race with these people 30 plus weeks out of the year. You share a garage with these people 30 plus weeks out of the year. And with that, the same people can make those 30 weeks really, really good, or they can make those 30 plus weeks really, really bad. And for me personally, I would like to have the 30 plus weeks be really, really good versus really, really bad. Or even just average. Like I said, you don't have to be friends with your coworkers. But you also don't need them as enemies on the field or on the track or anywhere else. So, I think, Ross had to learn this this lesson, and I know Carson's going to have to learn his lesson. I'm just not sure what cost it's going to cost Carson to learn this lesson. Do we need somebody that, kind of pushes the line? Sure. That's perfectly fine if you want to push the line. But you also have to remember, again, that it's not just you on that track. And people on that track don't tend to forget things. Like ever. ever. So sometimes answering the phone or answering a text is the best thing to do. But we have Ross Chastain, who won stage 1. Stage 2 was SVG. He led 97 of 110 laps. And then SVG won the race in itself. Chase Briscoe finished second for his best road course results, which was awesome for Chase. Chase Elliott rallied to third. He had a late pit stop and still rallied to third. That was great for that team. And that would be his 5th consecutive top 10 at Sonoma. Michael McDowell had a great race and finished 4th. And that is his 4th top 10 at Sonoma. And then Bell rounded out the top 5. And then that was his best result at the Northern California track. So is SVG ultimately going to be the one to beat? He has tied Jeff Gordon with 3 consecutive road course victories from the pole now. And then but literally, is he the one to beat now on road courses? I guess the bigger question, though, is he only a threat, though, on road courses? How are they going to help him gain additional experience or assist with him doing better in ovals and tracks such as that? Not that he has done poorly, but he doesn't do as well. That way, he has a good mixture. Yes, a great road course driver is good, but it can only get you so far in the round of 16. We don't have a road course in every one of those. So you'll be booted really quickly in that world. Which I know that they're excited just to be in that round of 16 going forward. So, but how do we get him to be a more well-rounded driver and not just one of the better or best road course drivers? So, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, he did have time in the Xfinity Series, but did he have enough time in the Xfinity Series before they brought him up? That's a good question. We got news this week. The Chicago Street Race won't be on the NASCAR schedule for 2026. So NASCAR has informed Chicago they won't hold the street race next year, but they leave the possibility of coming back in 2027. So they did have the agreement in place for 3 years with the option for 2 additional years if they chose to do so, which was 2026 and 2027. The president of NASCAR Chicago Street Race sent a letter on Friday informing him of NASCAR's decision not to race there next year. So that decision came on Friday that they would not be racing in Chicago next year. I have a lot of thoughts on that one. Logistically, I feel like a street race is a hot mess because you have all those tire barriers. One. And you have to put all that up, block all those roads off. And then 2, there's not really a pit road for the trucks. So they create one for them, and it's very limited, like pop-up tents, things like that. I see where 3, after the crash with Cody Ware and the not so thrilled response from the lack of caution thrown, timely, I should say. I mean, it was eventually thrown, but it wasn't timely. Needing more cameras in places to be able to see things. So logistically, I can see how that's difficult. I've heard good and bad from Chicago, how, it does bring in mass revenue, and it does. Hotels are booked, restaurants, the revenue that it brings in is crazy. But it also, depending on where they're at, blocks off places as well, so that people can't get to those places. So I see the good and the bad. We'll have to see. What does NASCAR fill it with instead for next year? Because I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Denny Hamlin's team, 23XI, and Front Row Motorsport both filed paperwork to run as open teams as of Dover. They did try to get a temporary injunction to have it so that NASCAR has the ability to sell charters. So they tried doing like an injunction because NASCAR has that ability, stating that NASCAR could attempt to sell their charters away from them. That did not work. So both teams are running as open teams as of now. Denny Hamlin has reaffirmed his support for the lawsuit. That portion is not supposed to go through to be heard until December 1st. So, this is crazy. I'm not sure how that's all going to play out. I'm really not. So they're going to have to get in on, race their way in cases of like Dover, where it got rained out. It's based on owner's points and previous race. So both teams did make it in, from what I can tell, without an issue. The whole thing is a hot mess. So literally, it is a hot mess. And I don't see it getting any better until it's all done and said and done. That's just a nightmare. So we are at Dover. I am going to say there is a chance of rain at the start of the race. Yesterday was shortened due to rain. The East Coast, I feel like, has become the new Florida. Like Virginia and up. Because we have almost all of us have been in like a flood watch or a flood warning almost every day, where we'll just get showers and they'll dump on us for hours. It's insane. 100% insane. Qualifying got rained out. So if anything, it could very well happen tonight as well. Hopefully with the race starting early enough, it won't be an issue, but just be prepared. I will just say that. Watch, keep an eye on it. They might say something about weather. The TNT broadcast will start at 1 p.m. It's on PRN or Sirius XM channel 90. It is supposed to be partly cloudy with a high of 91. Winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. And it's supposed to be about 89 when the race starts. It says only a 10%, 9 to 10% chance of rain at the start of the Cup race. It is 400 laps for 400 miles, because it's a 1 mile concrete oval, the Monster Mile. We are set to go green at 2:17 with the green flag. Stage 1 ends at 120, stage 2 at 250. For those who are doing the in-season challenge with 4 cup drivers squaring off for the final 2 slots at Indianapolis, we have Ty Dillon, versus John Hunter Nemechek. And then we have Ty Gibbs versus Tyler Reddick. So that's where it looks like we're at right now. There are some decent or large milestones today. Today, Joey Logano, who is only 35, I'm not sure how I'm older than him. Good gracious. Will become the youngest driver to make his 600th Cup start. Daniel Suarez makes his 200th consecutive Cup start. And Chris Buescher will make his 350th Cup start and his 200th Cup start with Roush Fenway Kalowski Racing. So quite a few milestones happening right now at Dover. So shall be interesting, but a lot to celebrate as well. With it being rained out, the it was set up again, kind of a mix 70-30. So we have Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, William Byron, Shane Van Ginsberger, Michael McDowell, Joey Logano, Ty Gibbs, and Kyle Busch for your top 10. We do have 37 drivers total today. So let's hope the rain stays away, but I'm not gonna say it is, because we've just been in that pattern where every day there has been rain. So at any point in time, rain, especially in the afternoons, could just pop up and stay over anything. So just keep an eye on it. Stay safe. So happy Sunday. Happy race day. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy racing. And I will see you again next weekend. Bye, y'all.